Hey everyone, I hope that you're all doing well. Okay, so I actually decided to redo my video, which I did earlier, and it went MIA. My phone had a complete meltdown. I lost a lot of stuff. I was very frustrated, um, but I'm over it, and I've decided to do something I wouldn't usually do and redo the reading. What I'm going to do though is just take out the cards that did come up. I did do my normal shuffling and everything the way that I usually do it if you ever watch my videos. And I'm going to recap and I'm going to bring out the cards that came out before. I luckily have not shuffled before I've put them back in the box for some reason, which I also don't usually do. But perhaps the powers that be knew I was going to have a little bit of a dilemma tonight. Okay, so I definitely was a little bit tested. I was very frustrated. I thought, do I just sit down and cry? And do I just leave it? And then I thought, you know what? There are such important messages that came through tonight that I just cannot do that. Very important messages. So I'm going to share it with you again. The way in which I'm doing it is a little bit different to what I usually do. And I would not usually repeat a reading or try and, you know, recreate it. But in this case, I'm going to do that. Okay, so let me just get comfy here. I may have to shuffle more than once. All right, so what I did this evening is I used the gods and titans, and I used goddesses and sirens, and it actually looked much nicer than this earlier because obviously I packed everything up. I thought I was done. Anyway, and this cupboard over here is going to be a bit annoying. All right. So I pulled 3 cards from goddesses and sirens, and I pulled 3 cards from gods and titans. The reason I did this was to have the balance of masculine and feminine, and because that is what this reading is about tonight, and that's what the full moon is about tonight in Libra. Excuse me. Okay, so Libra is all about balance. It's represented by the scales, and if you know the tarot, you'll know that it's the King of Swords that usually is associated with it as well. And the attributes of this, or the kind of energy that comes through with the full moon being in Libra, is about justice, about fairness, about balance that's being restored with certain things. And it also reminds us to be very perceptive and humanitarian, and to be sensitive to certain things. And it can also bring up things that we're very passionate about. All right. The focus here is basically on trying to balance things out, trying to get ahead, and this is very prevalent for people who have got businesses or had to go and, you know, be told that they didn't have a job anymore recently with everything that's going on. So this really does speak to us, and us questioning what is fair, what is balanced, why is there what is perceived as this injustice going on at the moment, all right? So this is about trying to get ahead. And on that note, what I did also mention earlier is I would like to do some energy work at the new moon. I will make a post about it, but I'd like to do some new moon energy work for those of you who own small businesses and who are struggling. All right, I know some people locally and internationally where the smaller businesses are really struggling and they're really not having a good time. They are high risk right now for actually losing their businesses and their livelihood. And I would like to offer a group energy session where you can do whatever you want from your side. Let's have a collective prayer or some kind of intent set for those people, and I'm going to do energy work on my side. So I'm going to make a post, and you guys let me know if you would like to take part in that. If you have a small business, I'm going to offer it at a very, very low rate just to cover my costs of my materials. And then I'm going to do a group energy session, because obviously doing it in a group amplifies things quite substantially. And I would like to just send good energy out for those people to try and assist them in not losing their businesses. Okay. All right, so when we're talking about Libra and the moon in Libra here, just to give you a little bit more information here, this can cause inner and outer conflict. Okay, it can be conflict with what we really want to do and what we have to do, emotional things that come up, behavior modifications that we have to make, realizing we can't carry on the way we have or we need to do things differently. And it's about gaining clarity and discernment about certain things. There can also be legal matters that come up, law enforcement that's involved, that's very prevalent right now all around us, and maybe seeking some kind of professional assistance or guidance at this time when we feel that, we're feeling a little bit stressed out or whatever the case is. So, this is about sometimes being fearful about what's going to happen in the future, wanting to gain more clarity on certain things and obtain a better perspective, and this is what this reading is essentially about. Okay, so when I pulled the cards this evening, the first one that came out was Ixchel. Okay, she is a Mayan goddess, and ironically, what I also mentioned is this past week when I did the reading, I think it was on Monday, Ixchel came up, Morgan Le Fay came up as well in that exact same reading just a couple of days ago. So this is being reiterated quite strongly, okay? Just to recap, she's about release. Let me hold it up for you. I hope that you can see her. Let me just double check what it looks like from your side. Okay, I'm sorry my lighting is not great here. She is a Mayan goddess. Okay, and she's all about release. She is about allowing yourself to release anything that you need to let go of, to her burning fires. Please note the big full moon behind her as well. All right, very significant. Something that comes to fruition, or something that comes into a state of closure of some description, and she helps you to purge these things and let go of certain things. This is about release, okay? And it's very, very important that we do this at this time. Very vitally important. So think about what it is that you need to let go of, or that's already been taken from you, and whether you actually can let go of it for your own good. But this is about letting go of old beliefs, bad habits, imbalances that fall away in your life, because this brings balance. So imbalances will fall away. And she also tells you that if you're going through something hectic, this pain will soon ease. Okay. We then have Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay, if you've ever read King Arthur, you'll know about her. And she says, she brings up magic. Okay, so this is similar to the energy work that I would like to do for you guys. But she's about do something for yourself. Light a candle and set an intention. Say, this, I'm going to light this candle and it's going to burn, and every time I look at it, it's going to remind me of my dreams and aspirations, the things maybe that I want to let go of, and certain things I want to work on. Okay, so this is saying that you have immense magic inside of you, first of all, that we are exceptionally powerful, and people forget that. But you have power, and it is real. Okay, we are energetic beings, and we can set an intention and work with the universe to get things to come to fruition for us. This can also say that something will soon be revealed, okay, and that you have unexpected allies around you. So don't think that you are alone, but try some magic. Try to do something that brings something new into your life, that brings something fresh, that moves the negative old stuff out. Okay, so she reminds you that you are magical, and magical is real, and the power of your intention is great. Okay, and to tap into that yourself and set your intention, live intentionally. We then have Artemis that came up. Artemis is about individuation. Can you see? There we go. All right, so she is about, please note the moon behind her as well. Okay, she is about individuation. You see the flock of birds flying behind her, but she's staying behind. She's going to do something else. She's not going to follow them. She's not going to join the herd, so to speak. She's going to do something different, and she's going to do something that is just for her, and use her own mind and use her own sense of direction. All right, so this is about running your own race, and it reminds us that Even though we feel sometimes habitually that we want to have people around us all of the time and support around us all the time, she says independence is a gift. Sometimes being alone and having solitude is a gift. It gives us time to meditate, it gives us time to connect. And she says, if you've been living in service of everybody else or you've been following everybody else, it's time to live your own life. And we need to realize how wonderful it is to be able to do that and to do as we please and do what we want. And the time has come for you to focus on that. So again, this focus comes and this intention comes up, all right? Very important. Yeah, so it's not about being selfish, please understand. It's about running your own race, doing something for yourself, having a sense of independence, and knowing what you want. You know, we all come to this earth as a single soul. We may have other soulmates that come with us, friends, brothers and sisters from whenever, but we eventually have to realize that we are an entity on our own to a large extent. We are part of a collective, absolutely, but there's also a very specific focus that we have for ourselves, and we also have to basically remember that we are here for a very specific purpose and we have a mission that we came here for. So we need to remind ourselves of that and focus on ourselves as well. Okay, we then have Helios. Okay, Helios was a Greek god and he is representative of cycles. I hope that I'm holding it correctly for you guys. Helios is about cycles. Okay, and this is exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at one portion of the cycle of the moon, the full moon tonight. And the moon reminds us that things go in cycles. We go from full moon to the moon then waning, and we then get to new moon and it starts waxing again and growing. And this cycle is part of many cycles on the earth, as well as the cycles of our life. And we're being told that we're going through a cycle right now with everything that's going around us. You know, this pandemic that we're dealing with, and panic, worry, fear, all of this kind of thing. We are being told repetitively from spirit that this is a cycle. Honor the cycle. Realize that things come in cycles. Even the many, many deaths that we're having right now, this is part of a cycle. Okay, this happens sometimes, and that sounds really insensitive, and I don't mean to sound insensitive, but this is saying honor the cycles within yourself, within your own life, and within the world that you live in here. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to read you from the book for these because they are relatively new cards. And I don't want to miss something that might be important for you. So he says, know that personal patterns, positive or negative, may be playing out in your life right now. Plug into the cycles of nature for renewal and vitality. Accessing the energy of Helios illuminates the patterns and cycles in your life, the productive ones and the ones you would rather interrupt. Consider what cycles you may be caught in. Could you be continually responding to someone's treatment of you in an unhealthy way, procrastinating on completing a project, or eating a good breakfast and exercising? Whatever the cycle, it's important to notice it and honor it before deciding whether it is good for your life or a cycle you need to bust out of. Okay, so then we have Thor. I'm sure everybody knows Thor, since I just want to make sure you guys can see this. I hope that you saw Helios nicely. Let me get him there for you. Okay, and then we have Thor. I'm so sorry about the lighting, but this is take 2 and I was not 100% prepared, but at least I can hopefully brighten it up after I've recorded it. Okay, so Thor, we all know Thor, he's the son of Odin. He is the god of thunder and lightning. He is a formidable opponent. He is a warrior, and his key word here is action. This is about us taking action, setting an intention. Okay, take action, be intentional with what you're doing. If there's something that you want to do and you've always wanted to do, and you just keep kind of resting on your laurels and umming and ahhing about it and not really taking any action, then he's saying now is the time. Okay, and also if you keep thinking, well, I'd like to do this and I'd like to do that, and you're not actually making a decision, or you're sending the universe 10 different signals, it's not going to be supporting you. You need to be very sure of what you want, and you need to make your intent known. Okay, this is vitally important. So he says to us, the time has now passed for waiting and inertia. Real action is necessary. Trust that you are protected and supported while you move forward. We call upon Thor when we need some real action. He is a brilliant rut buster, someone who will forcibly make action happen. If we feel inertia, tiredness, or frustration that things are not happening how we want, call upon Thor and his mighty hammer to smash a way through. Getting caught in a cycle of negative thought or behavior often needs forceful action as we get comfortable with our lives, even when they are unhealthy. Thor is protective of his own, so we can feel safe knowing that his might will shield us as we move forward into the unknown. Thor is a poet, not just an action man. So you can take a more sensitive route, even if you are the masculine type. Follow Thor's lead and be the best of both worlds. The best of both worlds, again, there's an element of balance, and he's saying there again, don't get caught in cycles that are unhealthy for you. Take action, see what you need to change, okay? Then we have Juzu. Juzu is support, all right? This is about offering support to others. This is about having compassion and empathy, and it's so ironic, and I'm going to point something out here too, where we have this individuation, but at the same time, support. And this means that we can look for support from others as well, because it's okay to do that, and also for us to support others in our lives right now, because everybody's going through a hard time. It's very, very easy for us to come from a selfish place at this time and say, I'm going through something, I'm panicking, I'm not having a good time, I need to be supported. And that's okay, you do. If that's how you feel, then you do need to be supported, but we also need to know that everyone else is going through it as well. On some level, everybody's struggling with something, okay? So that's what Jesus says to us. And he says you need to come from that place. The book says, an invitation to offer care and support not only to others but to our own self. A call to balance caring and caretaking. Do you see again? Balance. Libra. Jesus is also the embodiment of support to those who suffer. A gentle soul. Jesus reminds us to have compassion for all, especially ourselves. Should he walk into your life, gently shaking his staff, it's a reminder to support yourself in the best way possible. This may mean more consistent attention to your self-care, like getting more sleep and eating better food, or simply loving yourself more and being less judgmental of yourself in all of your uniqueness. He also asks that we also offer care and support to others, especially those who are really suffering, in particular from bullying, sickness, or loss. Okay, I've kind of had an important message because I've had somebody who's not been well. It's not got anything to do with the pandemic, but I've had to be compassionate. I've had to offer help, and I've also had to offer support to other people and be willing to take support from them in order to love myself as well and take time for myself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. There has to be that balance. Okay, then what I did after that was I pulled from the Spirit Oracle, which I haven't done in a long time, and you guys are going to be blown away when you see the messages that we got here. As I said, luckily I kept all the cards at the top of the deck in the box, which I don't usually do, but obviously tonight was the night. Okay, so this really blew me away, these last messages that we got, and this card is the Moon Goddess, and it happens to be full moon tonight. When I turned this card over, this really spoke volumes to me, and this is honestly the way that I see things at the moment. Okay, this was the message. These three cards popped out together. The first one says, a time of necessary upheaval, a blessing in disguise. As the dust settles, the gift reveals itself. Do you remember Morgan Le Fay? I said something is going to be revealed. This is necessary change, necessary upheaval, even though it may seem like an injustice at the moment. Some kind of balance is being restored, guys. Okay, this is a time of necessary upheaval, a blessing in disguise. How many blessings have we seen? How many animals have we seen coming back into where humans live, out of the wild? Balance being restored. People spending time with their families. Okay, there's a lot of good that comes from this. As the dust settles, the gift reveals itself. Second card was speak the truth. This is something that came up so importantly tonight, for us to be honest with ourselves and honest with others. And if there's something you need to say, that you need to say it and get it out there. I just want to make sure it's clear for you. Stand up for what you believe in, regardless of the consequences. Speak your truth, regardless of what others may think. It is time to stand in your own power. Shine for all the world to see. Individuation. Stand in your own power. Okay, speak your truth. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for others, maybe. This was talking about bullying. Maybe there's someone you need to stand up for. Okay, and finally, emotions. And look at that, it's the full moon. And there's a reflection here. There's balance. And this card says, you are awash with unexpressed emotions. Say exactly what you feel. This is being reiterated. It is safe for you to speak your truth. Okay, again we're being told that we are safe. It's okay. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to restore the balance. If there's something unbalanced in your life and you need to say something about it. If you have to stand up for somebody, stand up for yourself. Whatever the case is. Okay, guys, and those are all the cards that I took tonight. But one thing that I want to point out as well. Over here, with Ixchel, we had release. Release things to her burning fires. Let go of what no longer serves you. Honor the cycles of the moon. And that there's a time for certain things to move out of your life. Here again, Helios says cycles. Honor the cycles. So these two sort of matched up with each other. We then had magic. And Morgan Le Fay telling us to do something. Set an intention. Do something. Bring a little magic into your life. Or use a little magic. Know that you are magical. And you are strong. Thor reminds us that we're strong, and his key word is action. Take action, set intentions. So these two kind of match up with each other. Then we have individuation, which says you need to stand up for yourself. You need to be independent. Don't always follow the crowd, but at the same time, we get support, where a lot of people do work together, or you need to work with somebody. Instead of just being on your own, you need to work with somebody, and you can still do that. You can still run your own race. You can be a leader amongst a crowd like this. You can have something to say and support people and stand up for them. You can be someone who makes big changes. Okay, and then there is allowing people to support you and supporting them too, but there's also this individuation and supporting yourself and knowing what's important for you, what is meaningful for you. All right, and I sincerely hope that this reading was meaningful for all of you tonight. I just felt I needed to redo it. It's not how I usually do it. It's not usually me shuffling the cards and you're seeing all of that going on, but I needed to show you guys this reading because there were so many important things that came up here. And I think it's so relevant to what we're going through right now. A time of necessary upheaval, a blessing in disguise. As the dust settles, the gift reveals itself. Use these gifts, use your power, honor the cycles, let go, so that new things can come into your life. Take action to set the intention of what you want that to be. Offer support and receive support. Let's do things differently than what we did, but still stand as your own person. You don't have to be a sheep to support other people. Okay, guys, I hope that this means something to you, and I hope that it was worth it me doing it a second time. I send you lots of love, and I wish you a beautiful full moon. Take care. Bye-bye.